Okay, this video is to show off all the different functions of my timer. The timer has 6 buttons, which I'll call 1 through 6. It also has a potentiometer, which controls the dial. It also has an accelerometer input to detect if you're jumping or not, and it also has a random input signal. And the rest are all outputs, which is all the different LEDs. So first I'm just going to run through like a normal sequence with the timer, and then I'll go back and I'll show you some of the extra stuff I put in. So first things first, I start it up. Does the Gensor sequence, shows 15 seconds like in the pilot. Then you choose your countdown time. I'll just do 2 days. You can see if the first thing you press is anything other than seconds, then it zeroes the seconds out. So, okay, and then next step would be to open the wormhole. Okay, you can see the bar graphs are going, but the emitter's not on. That's because the dial's turned down. Once I turn the dial up, just a little bit past 0, the emitter comes on. And now it'll just sit like this. Basically, you know, the wormhole's open right now. You can still adjust the time. Let's say I want to do 15 seconds. I go back to 15 seconds. Or, like in the pilot, he goes 5 hours. So, now, in order to slide, you have to jump, which is with the accelerator. So right now, I'll just kind of tap it to get to go. So, here we go. Okay, now the timer's counting down. If you look below the timer, you'll see the tau, delta, and zeta lights, as well as the bar graph. It shows some different patterns for that based on what I saw in the show, and then some variations of that. As the timer is counting, it will randomly choose a specific pattern, and then it'll display that time from 15 seconds to a minute randomly. So everything's random, so it displays kind of different things. Sometimes it does nothing, and you can see right there it just changed. I don't know what it's going to do next. It's going to be one of the sequences. It could be the same one, and I don't know how long it's going to be on. But if you press button number 5, you can cycle through them yourself. So, okay, so the timer's counting up right now, as seen in the pilot episode in the beginning. If I want to make it count down, I turn it off. I press button 4, and now it's counting down. I should run through real quick what the buttons do right now. So button 1 turns the timer on and off. Button number 2 turns the emitter on and off. I don't want to do that right now because I'll slide early, so I don't want to touch that yet. Button number 3 shuts the sound off. Button number 4 turns on the power save mode. With everything on, it uses about 400 milliamps, 350 to 400 milliamps. In a battery saver mode, it uses about 50. With the timer off, it uses like 25. So, button number 5 switches the pattern of the 3 lights in the bar graphs. And button number 6 switches the days format. So let me actually reset it so I can show you that part. Okay, so like before, I was going to set it for 2 days. Okay. Get it to countdown. Okay, so I chose 2 days, but as you can see, it shows, you know, a little under 48 hours now. If I press button 6, I can kind of switch. We now know that the timer never had functional days displays, so, but I still wanted to add it. So this way you can switch back and forth. The default is it'll show hours up to 99 hours, 59 minutes, 59 seconds, and then it has to show days. But anything under that, and it'll show hours. But you, like I said, you can switch. Okay, so now let's say, you know, like in the show, something's happening and I have to slide early. So open the wormhole. Vortex opens, you know, whenever I want, and now I jump. I added in the beep increase because it always did it on the show when they entered the wormhole, the beeping increase. So the beeping stopped, so that means we're on the other world. So now I just close the wormhole, and now it shows 0. Most people's timers will go into random mode now, but if you watch the show, after they slide the first time out of the ice world to get away from the ice tornado, they're able to slide at will, and that's what basically this mode gives you. So right now I can open the wormhole whenever I want and then jump. And close the wormhole. You remember they did this to avoid the spider wasps in the Summer of Love episode. So basically I'm just going to do it a few times, but they only slid a certain amount of times, and this again is sort of random. It depends how much you have the dial turned up. If the dial's turned up all the way, then you get less slides, you're using more power. If the dial's turned down less, then you're using less power, you get more slides. And it also, in this mode, it takes more power to open the wormhole. So in the first mode you can open it just after 0. In the second mode it has to be up pretty high. I think I made it so that it has to be at least 50%. So it's between 50 and 100% it takes to actually open it. And if you also notice, the dial is never really on much in this show, so I gave it like a 5-second timer. So as you're adjusting it, it'll be on, and then after you stop it, it turns off on its own, like that. So okay, let's try to get to the random mode, and I set it up so that it's going to do a maximum of a minute in random mode. Oh, that just showed you that. Oh. Okay, I also added some code to do a Gensler loop, like in the episode, I can't remember the episode name right now. Electric Twister, Acid Slide, something like that. In the episode they were stuck in a Gensler loop, so I just wanted to show that. I didn't want it to be the first one, but yeah, so you saw that. That's random too, but I made it happen. They had a 33% chance of happening. Okay, so now we're in random mode, where basically we can try to open the wormhole, nothing happens until it reaches 0. So once it reaches 0, then we can open the wormhole. Okay, and jump. And then close, and then it'll do another random time again. Okay. This time I'm going to let it go. Well, I can show you one thing real quick. By default, you have to open the wormhole manually. If I turn the timer off and press the emitter button, now it'll open the wormhole automatically at 0. As you can see, the wormhole opened automatically. This time I'm not going to jump. I'm just going to turn it off. So we missed the slide. I'm still working on the code a little bit here. It's technically right. It shows 999 days. It's actually more than that, but that's just the max that it can show. So it actually will count down from the 29.7 years. I don't have much time left in this video, so I'm going to do another video showing you the extra features. Oh, and I also set a probability in the random mode to go home. I think right now the chance is 1 out of 50. Yeah, 1 out of 50, and you'll get home. And what it'll do is, instead of doing another random time again, it'll show you the initial time before you left.